road that you've traveled. V'yodatoim l'vavecha. V'David Omar. V'yitbonenu chazdei Hashem. Perek Kuf Zayin in Tehillim. If you daven Svard, you say it before Mincha on Erev Shabbos. The Arba, the four who have to thank God. Yitbonenu chazdei Hashem. You have to be mitbonen, you have to think, you have to ponder, you have to meditate, you have to be aware of it. Every chesed that the Rabbi Yisrael did for you. And we happen to be a generation that have been the recipients of God's beneficence, and His outpouring of kindness it's unbelievable. With all of the tzachos that we have over here, never lose sight of the fact that we were zeicher to the great gift. So, I think there's a Zohar that says, even Sefer Torah shebeheichal, Sefer Torah needs mazel. Everything needs mazel. A Rashi needs mazel. A Rashi needs mazel. There's a Rashi, an unknown Rashi. I've always attempted to sort of bring that Rashi to the attention of the world. The Rashi at the end of Parashas Bo, as God will bring you to the land that He swore to your fathers, to give it to you, and He will give it to you. One of the Parashas of Tefillin, Rashi says, Eretz Yisrael should be in your eyes ki'ilu nitnu l'cha bo b'yom, as though He gave it to you today. It should be in your eyes like a gift that He gave you, not like Yerushas Avos. Don't look at it as though it's some kind of an inheritance that you got from your fathers. It was given to you, to every Jew, every day. Everybody knows the Rashi, two Rashis really in Dvarim, where Rashi says with regard to Torah, every day it should be like it's new. But Rashi said it in Parshas Bo about Eretz Yisrael. It shall be in your eyes as though you got the gift today. V'yidbonenu chazdei Hashem, that we should think and ponder and meditate. So what are the chazdei Hashem that He did to us in the course of the last 100 years? It's unbelievable. We'll just go through it quickly. Just go through it quickly. The idea that there's that there's an abundance. There's an abundance of food in this country. We export food to the rest of the world. That's the famous Gemara in Sanhedrin, where Rabbi says, there's no greater revealed end of days than this. All my students know exactly what to do at this point. Atem Horei Yisrael, you mountains of Israel, says, Cheskel says, Anpechem titenu, give out your branches, uferichem tisu, and carry your fruit, Lami Yisrael, for my people Israel, be careful of, because the time that they are returning is coming close. Eretz Yisrael maintained a covenant with the Jewish people for 1900 years. It didn't provide food for any people to really take root in this country. 100 years ago, the land started development. That's Shefa Bracha, whether it's at Osher Ad or Yesh, whichever place you walk into. That's direct from the Rabbi Yisrael. It's a chesed of the Rabbi Yisrael. I remember one, you remember these supermarkets, they come and go. You remember there was once Birkas Rachel? It was probably changed names, who knows how many times, just like the hotels in Yerushalayim, You have to know what Gilga you're in. Is it the Ramada or is it the Renaissance? Or is it next time Ramada around? The Inbal, I forgot what the Inbal was. What was the Inbal? The Laron. Very good. You're all listening. That's very good. Very good. Okay. So here we're in Birkas Rachel and some frume, an American frume. They're the worst. An American frume from Har Nof. Something had happened that day in the country that was, the Ratzor was the Ratzor. The Ratzor so said, was a Tzara that day. So he yells across to me, he said, Rabbi Cole, You're still a Zionist? So I told him, what are you talking about? You're standing here in the fruit and vegetable section of Birchas Rachel, and you can talk like that? Be ashamed of the tomatoes. Be ashamed. That's when I had coined one of the great things for which I will be remembered into eternity, when I said that if you want to talk to the Rabbeinu Shalom, you go to the Kotel. If you want to see him, go to Shuk Machne Yehuda. There is Birchas Hashem. Chesed of the Rabbeinu Shalom. Changed the nature of this whole country, the earth. That's one. That's one. Kibbutz Golios. Kibbutz Golios. It's awesome what has happened here in the last 50, 60 years. It's unbelievable. It's awesome. All clearly stated in Tanakh. You have to know Tanakh for that. Clearly stated. I've told students in yeshiva time and time again, there's absolutely no need anymore to attempt to find proofs that Torah is true. The truth is staring you in the face. Everything that was said by the Nevi'im 2,500 years ago, it's all true. We walk around it. By the way, it's more than all true. We're the truth of it. I don't have to look at anybody else. I look at me, at you, each one of you. We are all here. And that's exactly what the Nevi'im said. Kibbutz Golios. And the gift of Eretz Yisrael, which expresses itself in Atzmaut, was probably the next guy who's going to make fun of that word. I'll suck him. I will suck him. Because there are certain kind of ugly jokes that destroy the ability for a person to think clearly. Doesn't. You know what? No, I better watch myself. You know? This is based tefillah. Yeah, and Yirmi Davin's here the other day. For Rashi says in Yeshayahu, chapter 11, Pasuk 11. You'll ever bother to look at that Rashi, you'll see exactly what Rashi says. That the third time we return to Eretz Yisrael, it's going to be not under any other empire's auspices. The return to Eretz Yisrael, the times of Ezra and Nehemiah didn't count, it says, because we were under Paras and Yavan, Persia, Greece. But when we're going to come back for the third time, it's going to be like a person who is in his own land. Atzmaut is a tremendous value. Value? Value. Editorial in the Jerusalem Post last week. By the way, in this country, when you read the news, you can see a lot of, what are the two great words? Hashgacha pratis. Last week, editorial in Jerusalem Post, addressed to the Jews of Austria and Hungary. Austria and Hungary are beginning to go anti-Semitic. The extreme right is rising. Elections in both places. Who knows what's going to be? And the Jerusalem Post simply says, "Come to Israel. Come to Israel. What are you doing there? Jews of France. What are you doing in France? Who knows what's going to be the result of the elections in England? And even without the elections, it's a schlugging place we should have gotten out there a long time ago. They're anti-Semitic. It's